Hello everyone, Konrad with Insider Trading Alerts here. So today I wanted to make this video to help walk you through exactly how to use some of the information. You've been on the free trial for a week. Maybe you've had some wins, maybe you've had some losses, but I just want to make this to walk through some things and really help you figure out, well, how can I be using this in my day-to-day trading? What should I be expecting? I picked these alerts for February 5th, mostly because today is February 5th. But I'm just going to walk through my thought process of these and how I played these today. So normally what you're going to be getting is that email to your inbox, right? The new insider trading alert. And you're going to see this simplified version, which is great. We can see a lot of basic information about the trade. And I also want to highlight, if you go to your dashboard here, we go to our dashboard and we can see way more in-depth information about all of this: market context, historical performance returns, more information about the purchase itself. So just wanted to highlight that because we'll be going over a lot of that data today as well. But starting with the email, right? I take this and I say, the first thing I look at is the primary alerts. Are there any primary alerts? For today, I see there's one, and I see ZNTL. And the first thing that catches my eye is it's $50,000, and it's this insider's first buy, and a 100% increase in what they own. And it's a life sciences stock. I know life sciences stocks are very volatile and they live and die based off of certain binary events. So I'm going to look at that much more in detail, and I think that I like that one. Even more so, I see over four previous trades, on average, it's hit 5% increase during the day. That means after an insider trade is filed, on average, historically, you can expect it to reach 5%. Now, that doesn't guarantee any future results, but that's a very strong number. And that's a very strong number that we want to play with. Additional high risk opportunities. So these are ones that don't pass our filters. And as you can see, there's some warnings on this, right? Yeah, I made it yellow. If you're experienced and you're looking for more stocks, like this might be the kind of thing you look at. But as of today, I think all of these performed pretty weakly. And I can also see that even though these are large purchase amounts, they're very small ratio of increases. So the insider's holdings on this one only increased by 0.29%. That's very negligible. And that means that the market's not going to care that much, even though it's $1 million buy. Hence why it's down here and not up here. Now, when there's multiple stocks in the primary alerts, I often just gravitate towards the ones that have the highest high return average and number of previous trades, because I like to have more data points and a higher high return average. So if you're like, oh, Konrad, what do I do? There's 12 stocks on the primary alerts. Well, just pick the ones in industries that you think you know, and pick the ones that have better historical performance, or it's their first trade, insider trade. So either high historical performance or first insider trade for the insiders. So this 100% increase, first insider trade for this person. So I look at that, I get a quick idea. Hey, I like ZNTL, but I want to see what happened previously. Well, that's something else we also give you. I go to my dashboard, I scroll down here, and I see all this market context information. And these are all averages, average pre-market returns, average high, the highest high return. So even more interesting, we can see for each of these previous trade dates, we can see how much the insider increased their position, how much they bought, the trading volume on that day, and then what happened with the stock over the day. We even give you the return of the S&P 500 that day so that you can understand, well, is this correlated, right? Is the S&P just doing well, or is the stock doing well? We can see on these days the S&P in general performed well, but this stock also did quite well: 4%, 3%, 5%, and 8%. So I look at this, I think this is a strong stock. This is a biotech stock as well. So I like it. So what's the next step, right? The next step is to purchase the stock. I like to use something called a market on open order, or MOO order, but this allows me to submit an order before 9/28, and then I get whatever the open price is for that day. No slippage, no filling issues. You just get the open price. And so I submit my market open order, and that would get me in on the stock here right at 178. And that is what happened that day. Um, but I'm in at 178 here. And as soon as I see it rise, right, quick 5% rise out of open, which is fantastic. And that's pretty much in line with what we'd expect out of the historical context. So I set a stop loss at my entry because if the stock comes back and dips into my entry, then I can just reevaluate, do I want to get back in it? Because every moment that you're holding a stock is like you're buying it again. You're willing to buy it at that price still. So I set my stop down here. I get in at 178. It does some weird price action, and then it starts to really go up. And this is right about when I got out in the low 190s here today. So I had a neat little profit. Pretty proud of myself. But then we see it continues to fly throughout the day. And I just really want to note that sometimes that does happen. You'll see these huge increases. Um, it is often advantageous to hold until close. I have found that I'll see something spike a little bit and then really shoot up later. But that was essentially my strategy was I bought it that open as soon as it went up. I said, "Hey, I am gonna sell if it drops back down," but it just never dropped back down. So I just sold. I got a little greedy, I held for like I think 8% increase, but I knew from my historical numbers that I had that, well, it's an average high of 5%. So once I was there, I started thinking about selling. So I really hope this helps to give some context and clarity on how to use these alerts. Obviously, if you have any questions, reach out to our support email. It should be on the email, support at Insider Trading Alerts. Um, but yeah, thank you so much for watching, and please reach out.